Just gonna wait a little bit for everything to load in and everybody to show up. I hope my audio is good. Let me just send out a quick little tweet that we're live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, for those watching on any other platform but Twitch, welcome. We're just waiting for the stream to warm up a little bit. This is the Voice of Yamato, episode 15. It's been a while. It's definitely been a while. The last one I did was with Verius. I was still in Berlin, right before we left for Iceland. Time flies. It certainly does. It's a great honor for me to bring this to you guys. This is, of course, an ad-free experience on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to, let's say you fall asleep to me or something, and then all of a sudden, wee-oo, alert! My timing is sublime. We have an alert. I don't know how to shut that noise off, but that's just hilarious to me. Let me just try to remove the alert sound to make it lower. That's just, I don't know. I don't know the odds of that happening. It's just too insane. Let me figure it out. So, of course, I wanted ad-free on YouTube. I don't know how to do it on Twitch. Twitch is live, so you guys, figure out. You guys need to suffer a little bit. Let me just try to remove whatever just happened. The little sea shanty sound. We're gonna lower the volume of it to make sure. But did you hear the sea shanty sound? Did you hear it? I'm just making sure I'm not crazy. Alert delay. Subscriptions. Sound volume. All right, let's lower that to a little 10%. And of course, thank you so much for your subscription, and also Treetop goes for your chair. All right. On today's agenda, we're going to have FNATIC 2021. We're going to have Worlds in general, right? Worlds in general is always exciting. What's going on? Is Damwon just going to win it all? Do I have a different opinion? And then just off-season. Off-season, also more generally speaking about what's going on in the world. And that's also super exciting. We have the Bjergsen news. We have the G2 roster. We have so many things moving and going on that, it's completely, mental. It's very crazy indeed. So now, I think the stream has warmed up enough. The Voice of Yamato begins now. Episode 15, Battle Cruiser operational indeed. I've missed doing this. This is good fun. This is good fun indeed. Ad-free on YouTube. I'm going to figure that out so you guys don't need to, get crazy if you're going to fall asleep to my voice or some shit like that, I don't like having ads interrupting. Like, I personally use YouTube Premium. I use YouTube Premium for this. And, YouTube Premium is great, but not everyone wants to pay for YouTube Premium. So my idea is I'm going to pull up this YouTube membership thing if people want to support it. Not necessary at all. You don't need to support me. You watching is just enough. I am well off, I don't, money is great, but I'm well off. I am fed. I have clothes on my back. I have a roof over my head. Soon, actually, this roof is gone because I'm moving out. But generally speaking, I'm good. So there's no necessity to support, only if you feel like it. So let's start with FNATIC 2021. I'm going to pull up Twitter because I know that a lot of you guys had questions, but it's important, in this conversation chat that we focus on the topic at hand. So we're going to start with FNATIC 2021. Let's focus on FNATIC 2021. I know it's a tough ask, but let's try. All right, let's try. So let me just scroll down my tweets. I've been tweeting a lot of crap. What do we talk about on Voice of Yamato? Let me pull that up. So this year had, I feel like I went through 5 years of esports in this year alone. And I feel very honored that I was allowed to participate in this. Generally speaking, my life in esports has, been crazy. But maybe that's just how everyone's experience is. So I look back at my career and I've been through so much. But at the same time, I don't know if I can say so much because it's never fair to compare. Everyone's individual experience is, unique to them. And it's going to be, in some shape or form, the limit of how much they can challenge themselves. I think back in season 1, 2, that was the Wild Wild West. Many times I got fucked over back then. A lot of people still owe me money to this day. They can go fuck themselves, all of them, because I'm not going to steal that money. Thank you very much for your subscription, Rabbit. 22 months. Pretty insane. I'm just going to mute the alert box now because I am worried that I am going to get too distracted. But thank you. So season 1 and 2, a lot of people fucking still owe me money to this day. They can go eat shit, I hope they found peace with that money, and I hope at some point they feel better about themselves or improve themselves, or they are down a path of making some kind of life improvement. I hope so. Jeez, I'm just noise after noise. I don't know what happened. That is Oingo Boingo Brothers just gave me $10. Thank you very much. That's a part of the money that the people that I talked about owe me. Anyhow, so season 1 and 2 was the Wild Wild West, but I was carried by the dream and the thought of what would come if, basically the rumors of the league that is coming. Riot is gonna give us money. And money seems like such an arbitrary thing, but money can indeed buy happiness, especially when you have parents at your throat wanting you to become a doctor. Go for Lord tournaments. ESL paid me after 9 months. It was all that jazz. And there was the monthly tournaments. There was a bunch of tournaments. I remember winning RP. That was cool. That was super, super cool. I didn't feel like I thanked Oingo Boingo Brothers enough for the $10. Thank you very much. That's insane, dude. $10 is a lot of money. You just pay for my shitty Starbucks. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I did indeed play a lot of Go for Lord tournaments. I played any tournament I could put my hands on. I remember I was getting DDoSed by people that won't be mentioned. I was getting DDoSed. I was getting, I was playing on a fucking 30 FPS monitor, the ones that are probably radioactive. They're probably radioactive, And it was good times. It was Wild Wild West. Season 3, Dragon Ball, Team Solo Mebdi. My career is riddled with situations where how could I possibly, it's just I keep reflecting on it. Could I have seen it happen? But I feel no regret. Team Solo Mebdi was also hilarious. Right? We just got three guys just got permabanned because Riot's rules were that we could just bring any player we wanted. Like there was no roster period lock. There was nothing going on. And all in all, what occurred to us was, obviously this team, we're going to get in trouble, right? So I made sure with every channel in Riot Games, like the esports and the esports side of everything, I don't remember the specifics, but everything was cleared. It was like, as long as you guys don't get banned, you're in the clear. You guys get to play. So like my homies didn't play solo queue, and eventually Riot NA went over the head of Riot EU, because back then it was just Riot NA decides everything. Riot EU is the little Chihuahua dog that they have by a leash, So they just went over their head, and they had to ban 3. So they couldn't ban Will Failure because he was, he was high profile. Will Failure was, part of the world championship winning team back in season 1 FNATIC. Bram de Winter, my homie. And then I was pretty, decently known. And so they just chose the 5th guy, which was El Mupo. They had to ban 3. So there was Jensen, who got banned for obvious reasons, right? Not obvious reasons, but like he had like the DDoS accusations. He got a lot of permanent ban counts and so forth. And then there was Darkwing Jax, right? So they had a lot of ammunition. They had plenty of ammunition that, in my mind, I diffused, right? I diffused this ammunition. And then they had to ban a 3rd, which was El Mupo. And that made no sense. Like, he just got permabanned. Like, he doesn't write, doesn't say anything, right? So that's another like point in time where you get hit by a shocker, right? We bootcamped for a month and we prepared and all that shit, and it just didn't matter, right? In a different universe, yes, we were talking with Navi. We would be joining Navi. We would go to the IEM in Brazil. I would have visited Brazil once in my life, which is incredibly unique. And all in all, it would have changed the timeline completely. You continue, I had the whole Meet Your Maker situation happen to me. I went to coach Meet Your Makers, which was absolutely bollocks as well, right? You had the Meet Your Mother thing and everything that was going on. Like, I had a player that wanted to leave to North America, right? And it was one day before we're playing. It's just a complete, fiesta, it was a madness. This is the year I picked up smoking. So once again, a situation which, just occurs. A challenge occurs, a challenge occurs along the way. And then eventually, Rokat, I really wanted to work with Rokat because Nuktak was there. And I knew this roster had so much potential than what they showed. I was like, yo, what's going on with Rokat? Why are they in relegation? I legit had to walk to their door. I knocked on the door. I was like, hey, give me a tryout right now. Obviously it wasn't that dramatic. I wrote them and so forth. And then after the tryout, we're like, okay, let's rock and roll. Let's do this shit. Let's play the split. And that was a good split, But the rough part was, so I joined the team. And basically, there was a situation where there was a roster lock. And the players were in a state of mind that they were not longer playing it with each other. And they didn't end things in a good manner. So I had to bring people together that inherently already have committed to the idea of not playing with each other. So that was a madness. Because I come into the team, it's like, yo, there's a roster lock. Why is half the team not here? It's like, yeah, we sent them home because we are making changes. What? I was like, what? Whoa. We gotta bring them back. We gotta start over. We gotta start from scratch. We have to. This is a new beginning. Whatever happened in the past, Doesn't count anymore. New beginning. We need to win relegation. So that was a mess too. Eventually, Rock Up, we did fine. I think we did well. We took Origin to 5 games. Could have ended differently, Who knows? It was a fine split. And then go on to Splice. And that was a very, very fun journey, We conquered a lot of issues along the way, and that was just a very, very good, memorable time, And then going into the next year, that's when the Vitality journey started, and eventually, I brought on Jizuke, Attila, Gilius, and we kept Cabo and Jack Troll, and and Kikis, and we had an amazing journey there too. And then 2019, we also ran into a lot of problems. A lot of things to learn from. That's the thing. All of these things that I'm sharing with you guys about my journey is things that I feel I have learned from so much. So much. We had 2018, fantastic, Jizuke, after Worlds, he just went to bootcamp in Korea. He just went to bootcamp in Korea, the mapman, and he just went ballistic, The reason Jizuke told me is like, yo, if we play against rookie on stage, I don't feel ready. I need to be ready. If we go to the World Championship next year, I need to be ready, right? And that's so important, that drive. That drive, I love it. It's a big part of why I love Jizuke. Many reasons I love Jizuke. Jizuke is very dear to me. And then we walked into 2019. A lot of the things, we brought in Mowgli, and there was a lot of things that we could have done better. And I was ready to do those things better, and ready to learn those things, and the players were ready to learn those things, but I wasn't given the opportunity to put that into place. Vitality chose to enact a clause that was very late into the off-season, which is completely fine. I have no bad feelings towards Vitality. A lot of love to Fabien, a lot of love to Nicolas. These two guys are my homies. They invited me to Paris. They were fantastic. They really. It was a joy to be in Vitality. It truly was. And I was left in a situation, They set me up to be good, They helped me financially to go into the COVID era without, falling apart, which is very good. They treated me well, No hard feelings at all. But once again, another situation where it just happened. Things that maybe were outside of my hands, but they just happened, right? Another challenge was thrown in my direction. And then I was like, okay, the teams that are interested in me, I'm really not interested in. I believe my doorbell rang. So, put a pin in. Next thing, basically, I had the worst possible year to go freelance because COVID hit. When I thought of going freelance was I'm gonna do content, I'm gonna travel, I'm going to be all over the place, I'm gonna do events, I'm gonna keep busy, and then COVID hit, boom, You're locked in a cage. And I was like, okay, I got to do what I got to do with this. I'm just going to do content, and then I'm going to, just try to figure it out, right? Another challenge. Another challenge. And then, of course, I was very fortunate. There was a big opportunity for me to go to North America. But this was like between spring and summer in 2020. There was a big opportunity for me to go to North America. And I was ready to take it. We had everything in ink, everything ready to go. But then everything escalated. COVID escalated. The travel ban escalated. And it just didn't make sense, because it would just be riddled with too many issues. Once again, a point in someone's life where everything could have shifted somehow, everything could have played out different, everything could have been different. And then Sandbox opportunity came along, and that was what a blessing to be able to go to the LCK and to live in that environment. Was truly something I will cherish for the rest of my life. That's something that definitely I want to relive. Definitely something that I want to relive. And then FNATIC 2021 started after Sandbox. Because me staying in Korea and traveling back and forth to obligations I have over here didn't make a lot of sense. So I couldn't continue with Sandbox. And at the same time, FNATIC was just something that I've dreamed about for a very long time. The reason I told you guys all of this is that sometimes things don't play out as you expect them to. And that's okay. As long as you can look at yourself and tell yourself that you did your absolute best. As long as there's that, dwelling in your own regret and dwelling in what could have been is a losing game. It truly is a losing game. So this year, expectations, right? Joining FNATIC. I've said publicly that I set my expectations wrong for what spring would have played out, and in that I lost myself in my own expectations. And I think that was the issue for us, the entire spring split, Everyone had very set expectations for what it would be, and when those expectations were fulfilled and also not fulfilled, it made the situation a lot heavier than it should have been. There was a lot of luggage from the past years, past alterations from FNATIC, but one person is already enough to change a whole dynamic. A dynamic is how people interact and how they are and their role in a specific group, right? How the roles are distributed and how everything, pans out. And there was a lot of things all of us could have done a lot better in spring, but it didn't pan out for us, right? A big thing was, we had a mixture of ideas. Our energy wasn't concentrated in the same place. I lost myself in that too, and it was once again a very, very big learning opportunity that all of us had. For Selfmade, for me, for the players, for everybody that was involved. It was something to learn from. Every opportunity, like every experience that you have is an opportunity to learn from. I really want to drill that in, because anywhere along the way, I pride myself on the idea that I know that there's plenty of people along the way that would have broke, They would have just been broken. But I fight through, and that's something that has made me stronger, And then we proceed into summer, right? We know that we were talking about making changes and looking at what we could do different, but the most important thing for me was that we learned from spring. that we set the right expectations, that we make a commitment to one another, and that we support each other no matter what we're going through. That was very important to me to set clear in summer. Very important. Because in the end, that's what makes or breaks a team. When a team is together, it's more than just a job, It's so much more than just, being professional, being on time, and just doing your thing and then not engaging in anything else. We are living a life where players and staff are sacrificing everything they have to be there for so many hours. It's a very time-consuming and life-consuming way of living, just being in League of Legends esports if you want to compete at the highest level. If you want to compete at the highest level, this is what your life is going to look like. You gotta live the game. And when that's the case, it's important that you are in an environment where people back you up. No matter what you're going through, they back you up. They're there for you. When you're showing weakness, that the response is strength, Just because you will repay them the same. And that was so important to me coming into summer, that we are committed to each other. The same way I function in the capacity of FNATIC, FNATIC is of course a business, right? And they have to act in their own best interest. And there might be a day where, who knows, right? There might be a day where there's a business decision or something along the line, because they have to protect the company, right? But in my mind, the way I operate and the way I function is that I need to work in an environment as if this is my final job, this is my final home, this is my final destination, because this is the only way you give yourself completely to what's going on, right? It's the only way you give yourself completely to what's going on and truly want to elevate every aspect of your environment. And the same way for players. Players need to function in the capacity as if they're not going to ever play with someone else besides the person next to them. And to elevate that person, make that person better, that's something that is a group project, right? Every issue, every personal issue is a group issue, right? And this is the biggest lesson from spring coming into summer. And the tricky thing always with esports is that the personality traits that get celebrated and the personality traits that truly are, wow, this guy is so good. Look at his numbers. Look at his, this is, ego has no place, Ego has no place in a team game. But nevertheless, right? The core idea of it is off-seasons come and off-seasons change things, and then off-season makes moves because there's so many moving aspects and people have things to care about on a personal note and so forth, right? And that commitment to your teammates is truly at the core of success, Taking responsibility for your teammates and everything that's going on around you. Of course, that requires the deepest level of motivation, that you need to strive for perfection no matter what. Never complacency. I know for a fact, if it ever happens, if I win a world championship, I'll be happy for the moment, and then I'll just want to win a second one. That's the nature of my drive, right? And that's also something that is essential to a team's success, that drive to never be complacent, to always strive for more, always strive for better. And that's important. So summer went well, right? Summer went very well. We had good success. Whippo role swapping, and Whippo is one of a kind. There's very few players would I would be like, yo, if you role swap to jungle, you're gonna be fucking insane at it. I remember people. It was so fun. It's so fun when I get to tweet something. I just know it's right, and the majority thinks I'm wrong, and I can just take a moment and bask in that. Ooh, it's nice. It's a little guilty pleasure of mine. And I was like, yo, Hilly and Bwipo is gonna be one of the strongest super jungle duos in the world, and probably the best one in Europe too. People like, yo, you are mad. G2's gonna take a big dump on you guys. Yes. Now, Whippo, that was a no-brainer for me. This guy is gonna be, crazy jungler. This guy just has so much information and knowledge about the game that he's capable of utilizing because he thinks so critically about everything that is going on around him. He's never complacent with information. And that might seem as something so simple, but it's not. Complacency with information is, there's certain things in life, right? It's like, okay, I drink water because it's good for me. I need to stay hydrated because a lot of systems in my body require water to operate, right? But further than that, I don't know, right? It's very surface level information of why I need water, right? And obviously in this case, we don't need to know more than that in order for us to drink water. But how Whipple would view it is, why does he drink water? He would go deep into it, right? A lot of players do something for a very long time, and eventually they reach a point is they do it because it's good. They do it because they think it's good. They feel like it's good. There's very little explanation past that. Whipple can always elaborate. He can always think about why and how, and this type of thinking process allows you to explore opportunities in everything. And that's what makes Whipple so fucking brilliant. And that's, I just described what the jungler needs, right? They need to look at the canvas of the game. The canvas of the game and see opportunity. Because the game inherently plays out itself in a very specific manner, but at the same time there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of elements into it where you need to be very, very good at the game in order to see opportunity. And that's also, of course, don't get me wrong, it's very important in every position too, but this made me think, Whipple Jungle is going to be a natural fit. We brought in Adam, a wild stallion, and we managed to piece together something good. Even in summer, we had some struggles, right? Everyone lost faith in FNATIC because we went 8-1 at some point, and then we just lost a couple of games, and then we recovered. And that journey we went on, it was so important, right? That journey we went on was so important because along the way we learned so much. The 5 games against Vitality, very important. 5 games against Misfits, very important. 5 games against G2, also important for our growth as individuals and as a group. We felt ready for so much more. Then the day came we play against Rogue, we knew we would win. 3-0, boom, in the ground. Maybe we wouldn't 3-0 them in a world where we didn't go through those best of 5s. We didn't go through the issues in summer. Maybe if we didn't go through those issues in spring, right? Maybe, right? Everything's connected somehow. FNATIC only made worlds because of G2 internal implode. Well, that's the challenge of the game, right? That's the challenge of being a group and we're trying to achieve something greater together, is piecing it together, right? It's such a big meme, better mental wins, but it goes such a long way. It goes such a long way. Making sure that your team is in the right state of mind is a challenge. And the teams that don't manage to do that, you know, that's a part of the game. And, you know, we beat G2 twice in summer, but nevertheless, right, in spring, we also had a fantastic roster, but we didn't manage to piece it together, right? We didn't manage to piece it together. We were too late. And we lost against Schalke 3-0, which is very embarrassing. Coming into the Mad Lions final, you know, the schedule was very rough. We had to play one best of 5, go to bed, play best of 5 next day. And we had to wake up very early. And we had to wake up earlier than most days. We had to do rehearsals. It wasn't something that, you know, that was very tough for us. And then playing against Mad, you know, we scrimmed against them and so forth, right? It was a very difficult task, right? And I feel very ready to face Mad Lions again in a final, you know, because I want to demolish them, right? And then in preparation for the, of course, Worlds, you know, scrims were going fantastic. You know, scrims were going good. We had a good vibe. We had good energy. You know, we were feeling very hopeful and energetic. You know, the atmosphere was good. You know, I was very happy with where we were at. In Berlin, we were scrimming all the EU teams and NA teams. C9 was doing good in scrims. Honestly, like out of all the Western teams, I felt like C9 was the only one that could like fight back, you know, and do well. The other teams were not so impressive in scrims. This was still in Berlin, right? Before we went to Iceland, because in Iceland we actually didn't practice against any of the European teams. We only practiced against the Eastern teams, and NA teams. Actually, we scrimmed against NA teams. We actually scrimmed NA teams in Iceland. So it's just we didn't scrim Mad Lions and Rogue. So I don't know about their improvement throughout Iceland. But when we were in Berlin, you know, the vibe was fucking good. You know, we were doing well in practice. It felt like, you know, we were attacking a lot of the issues that we wanted to tackle. Right, some of the gameplay related problems that you know, we needed to solve coming out of summer, right? We were by no stretch of the imagination a perfect team, right? So we had to work on those things, and we did. You know, it felt good. And then we went to Iceland. You know, we started scrimming some of the Eastern teams, and what we were doing in Europe also worked against the Eastern teams, so that felt very good. We scrimmed against T1 and scrimmed against FPX. We did. It was always, it's divided into 2 blocks, and the first block was always good. The second block was always a disaster. I don't know, like there was such a massive drop of energy in the second block. But it's something that you know, I felt okay. We talked about it. It's like, yo, maybe we just need to have some time to get adjusted to the schedule, because it definitely is. You know, it's something that you need to get adjusted to, right? Such a massive shift in scheduling. And I mention all of this because I felt, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are curious, but our potential with Upset was very high. Very, very high. We scrimmed against Damo one day, and keep in mind, right? I'm not saying this to say that this is how things would play out for sure. But from the level that I saw that we were capable of elevating in scrims, we would be able to cause some serious damage, like a lot of damage. And then the circumstances happened, right? The circumstances happened. There's a lot, there's a lot of unforeseen things that can happen in life, right? I could walk down the street and maybe this is the last voice of Yamato you ever hear, right? I could get hit by a car. Of course, I'm going to do my best to not get hit by that car because I'm going to look both ways. And I'll look both ways and make sure, do my best that it doesn't happen. But maybe, someone swerves and does something ridiculous, right? Who knows? That's life. And you got to do your best in those situations. You got to prepare yourself the best you can, and then you got to do the best we can. And then you got to learn from any experience that you have. Negative, positive, any experience you can learn from it, right? Positive experiences can also be dangerous, right? Someone keeps... If someone keeps, having positive experiences, they keep winning. We've seen that breaking people too, right? We've seen egos getting inflated to the point where, who the fuck am I even talking to? Who is this person? I don't know who this person is. We've seen winning destroy people. We've seen losing destroying people. But in the end, they're all just experiences that you need to reflect and to gain and soak in as much as possible. And the same thing for me now, right? My whole career has been a story of crazy things happening and me just in that moment trying to be the best version of myself and to hopefully inspire that in everyone else that is going through that motion at the time. The difficult thing, the hardest part was the second hardest part, because the hardest part was, of course, losing Elias at the World Championship. The second hardest part about it was it was 12 hours before. And that didn't give us a lot of time to reflect, and really, go into the situation, into the games with some element of preparation. 16 hours, 12 hours, who cares, right? And I say it for anyone that didn't hear it already, it was the correct decision for Elias to go home. He's doing better, and that's all I'm gonna say on the topic. It's very personal, and the main focus I want to do is about the experience that continued when Elias has left. So for us, right, 12 hours before, boom, we lose our player that we practically, played around. He was a very essential part of how we like to play and how everyone, adjusted to themselves. And the tricky part is usually when something happens like that, you need time. You need time to really get your values straight, to think straight, to recognize who you gotta be, right? What is the best version of yourself you can be for this situation, right? That takes time. We had to go to bed, we had to go sleep, we had to prepare, right? And I'm doing my best, right? I'm doing my best to scrap things together, to figure something out. I barely slept, the day before. We're trying to piece it together, we're trying to make sure that everyone's okay, everyone's the best version of themselves, but it's very, very tough. Very tough. So we went to the games. We played against, of course, Hama Life. It was a fine game. The Yasuo pick definitely broke our ankles. Yasuo is not something that we saw too much, and they dropped the cannon. And I was happy to put Morgan in a position where we played range champs, and we had some decent game states at certain points in that point in time, and we had a massive lead on Graves, but in team fights they just played a lot better than us, right? Then we had the second game against RNG, which was just a complete mess. It was just a terrible game. I think the draft was not great. We just, once again, the process became, let's just see what happens. Let's just pick comfort and see what happens. Maybe this is the solution, right? RNG is a very tough team. Like, in the preparation against RNG, they're a very scary team, man. Like, it's a very clean-looking team. They just have, on some positions, slightly weaker individual players, which matters when you play at the highest level. But in terms of macro, these guys are fucking crisp. Very, very good macro play, right? Very good at connecting, very good at fogging, very good at doing, the basics of the game. Hovering for waves, playing for vision, buying pinks and slowly choking the map out and taking care of space, taking very limited risks. That's something that I liked about RNG, and they were a tough team. And at that game, we just so that game was just shit. That game was rough. Right? We were very disconnected. We were taking fights left and right, and it's a tough thing, right? So we move on. Day 3. Once again, still, we're dealing with the challenge of the situation we're in, right? So you don't get to, when you have to think about so many other things and care for so many other things in such a little, like, small time window, it becomes very difficult. And, in those moments, for example, Niski felt so fucking bad about that game, game 3 against PSG. He felt so bad. But it was challenging for everyone to focus on those things that make each player good. And I know in a different circumstance, everyone could have been better. Everyone could have been better for each other. And after the couple of days of break, we could get our minds straight, We could actually reflect on the situation, I could get the message through. This is not the time for us to feel pity for ourselves. We are here now. We can feel pity for ourselves when we fucking piss off home, This is our chance to, take this challenge upon our shoulders and fucking do something great with it, We have an opportunity to fucking, it's like climbing the tallest mountain, right? There is greatness in that. To be able to say, I am going into this doing my absolute best, and if I conquer it, what a feeling it will be, right? So I kept repeating this. With every fucking challenge comes great opportunity. Let's fucking take this opportunity. Let's leave this fucking place with no fucking regrets. Let's put everything we did this year on the line. So we walked into that day feeling good, everyone felt good. The vibe was better. Everyone was supporting each other. Everything was good, They worked hard. They really, really, really pushed themselves. And I'm so happy for that. I'm very happy about that. We didn't go through in the end, right? But we had a decent first day. We beat RNG. Boom. We beat RNG. How a live game also. Something else happens. Fuck. Could have won that too. Game against PSG. Bro. That draft was just garbage. I am so sorry for Bean. I am so fucking sorry for Bean that we picked him Zaya. Why is he playing Zaya in this game? Man, he's playing Zaya against Jace, Syndra, Misfortune. I'm so sorry, Bean. This is the first time I saw Bean tilted, but he just didn't show it, He was very good still. He was communicating, but I could notice just a slight shift in his tone. and he got so screwed. It's like the worst champion. Like for some reason, like we were all goofy and shit, coming into that game. We were so fucking goofy. Like that last game against like some guy. Yeah, Boop was like, "Yo, Bean, yo Bean, can you jungle, bro? I want to play Lucian." And then it's just a mix of people having mental ideas. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck we were at, I don't know. It's like, yo, Niski. It was like, Adam, you want to play Udyr jungle? I saw you play Udyr jungle, bro. You want to play Udyr jungle? Let me play GP. It's like, it was a balance of, are we having fun? Are we not having fun? It's like, I was like, yo, guys, I want to win. I want to fucking beat PSG. I just fucking help me win here. So we just fucking, we picked Viego first pick, right? That's pretty fucking try out if you ask me, right? Let's fucking pick Viego. And then, in my notes, I was like, PSG AD carry, misfortune one trick. First pick misfortune, auto win. That was in my notebook. Give the misfortune. And then it's like, Adam was like, yo, I play Grace and Soul Q, bro. Just fucking lock me Graves. Just pick me Graves, son. I was like, okay. You want Rakan? Viego? Rakan? Graves? Okay. I was like, yo, are we sure we're not going to pick AD carry here? We need to pick AD, We need to pick Ezreal. There's not a lot of champions that are good here. I was like, we lock Graves, and then they ban AD carries, and it was like, yo, shit. Bean, what do we play? And Hilly's like, yo, we should pick Zaya. I'm like, yeah, Zaya sounds good. Zaya Rakan. Can't go wrong with Zaya Rakan. Not a scenario that we thought through at all. It was just, my notebook was on the floor already. Big Zaya. Then I walk off the stage. I'm like, yo, why the fuck do we have Zaya in this game? Jesus Christ. And then the first thing I do after that game was over, I just go over to B. I was like, B, I'm so fucking sorry. You got beamed. You got beamed. No, it's not Hilly. He just brought an idea. And I was like, yo, that sounds like a great idea. Let's fucking do it. And then Bean is like, I guess Hilly and Yamato saying it. And that was it, So it's like the last day still ended good, And either way, I look back at this year and I'm happy about the year. Everyone that was a part of the journey, I'm fucking happy. So happy I got to know Selfmade. He left us early. So happy that I got to know Adam. I'm so happy that I got to know everybody in this like story that we were part of. I feel very close and connected to each player, and we are going to share that bond forever. What we went through, we're going to share as a bond forever. And I will cherish that forever. Fucking Oscar. Oscar made me laugh so much, man. Oscar. I miss him. Hey, 2021 was good. It was tough. It was challenging. But tough and challenging is good. I love challenge. It makes me feel alive. Challenges is where you truly get to see who you are. Bean as well. What a machine. I'm excited for what's to come for Bean. Fucking Bean. I love Bean, man. This guy has just the right mentality to become great. Being the machine. Iceland was nice. We had a nice hotel. We had like a 120 euro budget. Bro, I ate like a pig. Not ate like a pig, but I ordered like a pig and then ate. I nibbled like a pig. No, I ordered like a pig and ate like a squirrel. Bro, 120 euro a day. 120 euro a day. Not the whole trip. So basically, I would like order 4 meals and I would just nibble on them. And bro, I had so many fruit salads in my fridge. I just kept ordering fruit salads and I just kept eating fruit salads. Like my pee was bright yellow. Like I was eating so much fruit that I think it got to the point where I was eating too much fruit. And yeah, per person per day. Fruit salad is just magnifique. I went to Sky Lagoon with the homies, which was very nice too. It was quite an experience. So basically, we were 0-3, right? And then we went Sky Lagoon because I just wanted to take a couple of hours off before heading into work, right? I went to Sky Lagoon and there was an ice bath. And someone told me some people from 100 Thieves were in the ice bath for 15 minutes. Ooh, 15 minutes in the ice bath. And I was like, I need to win. I really need to win. Like, I'm 0-3, I need to win. So I sat in that ice bath for a good solid 25 minutes all alone. Boom. Slammed them kids. Easy peasy. I needed to win. My soul needed to win. So I went to that ice bath. My balls went inside of my body. They just retracted completely. And I could have stayed forever, man. I was in a place. I was in a place where I could have stayed forever. I was there mentally. Like, I could have stayed longer. But then, like, the security guy was like, yo, dude, this is starting to get to the point where it's not safe. I'm going to ask you to stand up. And I was like, you just want to see my balls? No, I'm kidding. And then I stood up, went to the sauna. And it was gorgeous. It was so nice. It was so nice. So I got a win. And then, went back, prepared for the day. It was cool. I hope if in my rambling, that water isn't hot. There's hot water, and then there's a glacier pool, a little tiny pool. There's glacier cold, so it's like 2 degrees. Like, as close to minus before it turns into ice. So in my rambling of me talking about my journey and me talking about, like, Ari here at FNATIC and each player, what they went through and what we went through, it's just that at any point in your life, if you are going through a challenging time, just keep trying to do your best and it will make you stronger. It will make you more prepared for what's to come. We never know what's coming our way. And the best thing we can do is just to try our best. And as long as you try your best, you're going to elevate the level of what you're capable of. It's going to keep elevating that. Challenges push you further. They push you to the point where the truest version of yourself will be revealed to you. And in that lies improvement. In that lies joy for me personally. The pushing of limits. And I feel more ready than ever for the next year. Everyone is speculating if I'm staying at FNATIC or not. Guys, I have a contract. I'm not going anywhere, my friends. I'm not going anywhere. Every ending is a new beginning, my friends. You know, the mountain that we climbed in Iceland it's such a good metaphor, because you don't see the peak from down below. You see something that you might think the peak is. So you begin to climb. You reach what you thought was the peak, and there's another fucking mountain. You climb that shit, another fucking mountain is waiting. And another mountain is waiting. And another mountain is waiting. Eventually we reach the peak, right? But things got easier when we focused on that one little hill that was right in front of us, right? And then eventually, you know, when we were at the top there, you look down and you could just see the journey you've taken. And that was just so beautiful. We were at the top there, and you look down, and the car that we came in looked so small. Everything down there, the people looked so tiny, like little ants. We walked up fucking 6 kilometers. So, I will take this. I'm still reflecting on it, you know. There's a lot to reflect on. A lot to reflect on. And I'm very excited for the future. How can I not be? DJ Khaled and Drake said it best. We started at the bottom, now we're at the top of the mountain, but there's another one and another one and another one. Fucking comedian. Okay. Do we talk about worlds or what? I think we talk about worlds. We can move on to the next. I believe I've covered FNATIC 2021. I've said what I want to say, and you know, everyone that's been a part of this journey has a very special place in my heart. That goes out for everybody, not just the players. You know, Pete. Like the amount of time I've spent with Pete, and you know, it's always one thing to view content from a person, and there's a different thing. There's a different world when you get to know them personally. And Pete is just one of a kind. I know already from interacting with Pete that this is going to be a lifelong friend. I want to keep him next to me. I want to keep him close. Like when you find people that you value and cherish, you just know you want to keep them close. Pete is a fucking legend. Shaves is a motherfucking legend. I feel so close, and I feel like I can trust Shaves so hard, even though he wasn't there with us in person. And that takes so much dedication, so much fucking motivation to push yourself through, even if you're not in the room, because it's you feed off of the energy, you feed off of what's going on around you, and there's certain things that motivate you, right? Shaves was our strategic coach, and me and him, we worked together, and he worked very diligently. There's a man, when things were getting hard and I needed to take care of things that weren't specific to the strategic aspect, he covered for me, He's a goddamn machine. I want to work with Kevin for a long time. Once again, a person that I value deeply and I want to keep close. People ask me about Whippo, and Whippo's another person that I value and cherish deeply. And he's one of those people that I want to keep close. He means a lot to me. I care for Whippo. And the esports world is very small. Very small. I can tell you guys, I was in the hotel lobby in Iceland, and I just look across and I just see all of the players, right? From different places. And somehow, at some point, our paths crossed. I see Alfari, Team Liquid Alfari. I see, this guy, back in 2000 something. I don't remember, 2015. This guy was super young. He was on like Renegades, like Bandidos, or whatever the fuck it was called. And they were looking for a coach. And I wanted to have a sniff. I was like, Tabs is there, Alfari is there. That's interesting, Let's have a look here. But I just couldn't do it because there was a guy, I don't remember who it was, and we don't need to hang out his name. But when I was talking to the players, so basically I was like, so guys, when you play from mid into bot, you need to understand that the enemy team has two options. Either they contest you, where you will face off and you'll notice them right away, or they're going to enter the other side of the map. Either they're going to contest or they're going to trade. And in this motion, before you find information on the bottom side, you cannot start pushing bot. You need to hover for the team and wait for key pieces of information. When players begin to show, that's when you can utilize the fact that you have a TP advantage. You have no reason to go bot because you can only go bot to die. And there was this guy that was working in their second team that was just, what Yamato is trying to say, like every time I talked, he just felt the need to re-explain what I said. And I was like, guys, sorry, but I will not work in this environment. Thank you very much. Best of luck to you. I'm sure you guys are gonna, do great. You have great players. It drove me insane. It drove me so insane. Oh, man. Like, sure, he's trying to be helpful, but Jesus Christ, man. What a madness. You have mansplained. That's one way to view it, yes. So, and then I see Jonas coaching Team Liquid. God damn. This was my jungle. Back in 2016, 2017. Jonas. Head coaching TL. How the fuck did he get there? Oop. Fucking whole jet situation blew up. And then he had to step up. He had to step up. Then I see Jensen. Jensen, man. Jensen. Fucking Team Sodom Ebdi Jensen. Fucking you see everybody. You connected to everyone somehow. You know, I've been around for such a fucking long time that, you know, in some shape or form, there's like, you know, roots that are stretching and, you know, engulfing whole of esports. Everything's connected somehow. Fucking Jensen. I love that you guys are starting to explain in the chat. I love this meme. And then I see Perks. I met Perks. You know when I met Perks? I met Perks 2015? 2015. I am Cologne. I am Cologne. That's when I first met Papa Smithy. That's the first time I met Froskuren. That's the first time I saw Doimby. Xiaogu Reapers. I believe Doimby was there. With Swift and Doimby. And then I saw ESC Ever. Perks was the sub for Shifter. What on earth? He was the sub for Shifter. No offense, Shifter. I love you, man. No, I don't. But you seem like a cool dude. But Perks was on your bench, homie. Perks was on your bench. How's that allowed? And Kirei was there too. Kirei was there. That's when I met Perks. And then I see him in the lobby. And we're playing this board game called Secret Hitler. I don't know if that's allowed. That's okay to say. But I'm going to say it. Because that's the name of the board game that we played. It was a fun game. It's genuinely a great game. And then, you know, we played this board game, and I got to know Vulcan, I got to know Fudge, and, you know, some point in time that we're gonna reconnect somehow, you know? Just esports is small. And sometimes you run into people, it's like, yo, I hope that we work together. Like, I hope we work together one day. Again. And I have many players and people like that, you know? And those are the relationships that really, are really great. I'm trying to remember what happened. I think Sven was Hitler once. Niski was Hitler once. Like, that was... He was the worst. You know, like, Niski was playing this board game with us. And basically, there's two teams. There's fascists, and then there's liberals. And in the fascist team, there's also one Hitler. The fascists know who the fascists are. Hitler doesn't know who the fascists are. And then the liberals don't know anything. So the point of the game is everyone is trying to pretend that they are liberals, right? So we're trying to find, it's like Among Us, right? It's Among Us. And then Niski had this so obvious tell, because whenever he was fascist, he was really engaged in the game and really excited. When he was liberal, he would just go on his phone. I don't have a phone. This is just a wallet. He just went on his phone and just, I don't know what kind of phone does this, but... And whenever he was liberal, he would just do nothing. Fucking Niski. And then Blabber, man. Blabber is a psychological genius, this man. Nevertheless, I don't know where I'm going with this story. The thing is, I want to say that, you know, We're all connected somehow in esports. When you have there's been certain points in time that I've met someone or something, work with someone, and then usually the people that you want to hold on to and work with are people that are gonna last because they share the same ideals as you. And my ideals are, I want to fucking build a legacy. I want to fucking annihilate and become the best version of myself in this game for 20 more years, 30 more years until the day I die, and those ideals and values of pushing yourself and reaching that perfection. These are ideals and values that you value, of course, in others too. And then eventually, I know these people are gonna be in esports for so long, and the paths will eventually cross again. Yeah. What Yamato is saying is that he will die. Yeah, I will. Okay, I'm going to whisper into your ears. Let's talk about championship. All right. So, what do you guys want to talk about when it comes to worlds? Like from the point of view as a viewer and me as a avid league enjoyer. Chad meme insert. What are your thoughts? What do you guys want to talk about? So, my opinion on Damwon is that draft-wise, they seem the absolute most flexible, which is very dangerous. I think they are very open-minded to beating champions that are considered very strong in the meta. So Damwon played against, of course, Mad Lions. They invited the Aphelios pick. And the thing is, Aphelios has been doing so fucking good due to the fact of whatever else is in the meta, right? Aphelios is a champion that has clear weaknesses and very clear strengths. You can argue that his numbers are absolutely broken, which is completely fair, and I think that's fine. I think Aphelios is very strong. But Aphelios has been doing a lot better because mages are not so prevalent. So, Damwon did this beautiful thing of inviting the Aphelios pick, and then all of a sudden they actually pick champions that are good into it, right? Imagine you're playing Aphelios, which is a champion that's being first picked in a lot of games. If you think of T1 as a team that is going to pick Aphelios, which most likely they're going to do, right? Then you could imagine Damwon being the team to lock the Syndra, to lock the GP, to pick the champions that are going to actively try to fuck him in the bum, right? And that's something that is so important to highlight because that adaptability is going to be so important. I think also people want to look at Damwon's bot lane as some kind of severe weakness, but I think they've actually performed decently well, right? I think they've done well. I think Beryl specifically has played pretty damn good. And then Canyon is clean as ever, and it's harder for me to go into a series against Damwon and think that there is going to be a very certain way of preparing and then beating them. I think any team that starts a series knowing that you have the better mid 2v2, mid 3v3, that is so lethal because it allows you to cover for weaknesses and also cover for the enemy's strengths. So for me, Damwon is the winner against T1. T1 has some fucking insane individual power, some like sick potential there. Because when we were scrimming against T1, this was a team that was very fucking tough for us to beat. Very tough for us to beat. Damwon, we fucking beat them over and over again because we like FNATIC is specialists in fucking bot lanes, So we were doing very well against Damwon. But once again, it's scrims, right? Don't put too much weight onto scrims. I believe Damwon is going to win Worlds. That's just how it comes across to me right now. They are so crisp, very clean. Khan is doing super well. Showmaker and Canyon, I don't think anyone comes close in terms of their precision in 2v2. and 3v3 and just contesting space over and over, making everyone play, you know? And that's it. I think just in terms of preparation, I also think that one is going to do better. What's going to happen? So basically, the idea is everyone's asking, why is everyone giving Aphelios to Bruder Musas Gumayushi? Because they know that Lucian is waiting right behind it. Gumayushi Lucian is dangerous. I watched that guy in solo queue and he's fucking Biggie Smalls. So I can run the Berettas, put in all them holes in your sweaters, the money getters. You know, this guy is really, really good. In no shape or form is this guy like an Aphelios one trick. But Damas have a team to invite the Aphelios and then beat the Aphelios. Right? So that's exciting. But I think Damon's going to take it. Like 3-1 is a fair prediction, but I wouldn't be surprised in a world was also 3-0. The tricky thing with Damon too is in best of fives, many more aspects of your play become tested. And those aspects, when it comes to how they play the mid game, how Damon play a defensive game, meaning that, you know, how they set up traps and how they contest space and vision and how they find those opportunities is really fucking good too. And Damon got pushed a little bit against Matt and they were ready to fucking swing. Really ready to swing. And that is also one of the weaknesses of T1. T1 win a lot of games where they take over early and they do that really fucking well. And then, you know, their mid game and late game isn't something, you know, that... Like if I'm sitting down and I'm trying to, you know, improve my knowledge on how to play macro-wise, from behind, from ahead, I'm looking at Damon. Damon right now is the standard. And T1 will have to get really huge advantages in order to beat Damon. Upset and Nilly can compete with the best bot lanes in the world. They showed it during the bootcamp. No problem at all. What about the underperformance of FPX? So the LPL as a whole, they have a lot of teams that consists of specialists. Specialists meaning that there's an overarching, you know, meta reliance, so to speak. When you have so many teams in the region and there's teams that peak and fall depending on what's going on, right? There was a massive meta shift coming into Worlds for everybody. Graves, range champions top, Graves, Cannon, you know, Jace meta top side. There's the mid laners, which is TF, Rise, LB. You know, of course, these champions showed up every now and then, right? There's Enchanters in the bot lane, Yuumi, a lot of Aphelios play. There's Nami, Lucian. Like, there was a lot of new champions were introduced, right? And this is something that I believe LPL teams that are successful, often, you know, you see teams like whoever's on top is shifting quite heavily, right? In my mind, teams that have the strength to navigate between different metas was RNG and EDG, because their player quality is very high, right? And then FPX, of course, they had the injury, which is, you know, very tricky to even discuss, because I can't imagine what they went through, right? But I'm just looking at LPL's history as a whole, right? And when you have that many teams and whoever is at the top changes so frequently, you have to also see the trend and the pattern of meta reliance, right? I feel very, very bad for FPX. And all in all, every team is going through their own issues. Every team is going through their own problems, and we will never understand. The same way now, I can't even make you guys understand the context of what we went through at FNATIC, right? I can't. I can just give you bits and pieces. You guys will not have the full context ever, right? And we don't have the full context of what went down in FPX. I think NA did fine. I think NA had a decent showing. I don't necessarily feel like the certain elements and things that I saw from NA, like some of the NA teams do, but all in all, like I don't think it's fair to put them in a box, right? It's not fair to put, like everyone says region, but in the end, we are not similar. Like, sure, contextually there's similarities between us and Mad and Rogue, but in the end it's like, focus on the team instead of like saying the whole region. And I think NA did fine. I think NA did okay. Like, I think C9 was good. They did well, right? I think 100 Thieves did fine. TL did fine, right? I think it is what it is. Who was the strongest scrim team? The toughest one to beat was just T1 in scrims. Like, NA is beginning to stack up some really fucking good residents. Like, fucking Code JJ being a resident is fucking great. Jensen, Bjergsen. They have some decent junglers over there in the pool. The list is becoming long. And then for the other best of 5, EDG versus Genji, I believe EDG is just a lot more precise as a team, and I believe that they're going to take it. I think Genji, like BDD, is really fucking good, but the requirement for him to gap people is pretty fucking immense, And I think the other players are very reliant on very specific picks to find success in the jungle, in the top lane. And I think that is going to come at a liability. Another thing that is tricky for Genji is they are banning LeBlanc, they're banning TF on both sides. They're also banning Yumi on both sides, as far as I remember. And that is a big red flag at this point in the tournament. But if they figure that out, maybe they can fight back a little bit. But if they're banning those champs both sides, it's an uphill battle. Because Scout on LeBlanc is a dangerous, dangerous man. What's your thoughts on Faker? Faker's fucking brilliant. This player's really, really fucking good. Really, really good. He gains a lot of information on the map, doesn't die to ganks, lanes pretty fucking well too. Like, Faker is just a fucking great player still. Really fucking good. People think, Faker, you have to, like, people are comparing the current Faker to the Faker that was so fucking far ahead of everybody else. Right now, Faker can hang with the absolute best, and that's fucking great too, man. He can play against Chovy, can play against Showmaker, play against BDD, can play against Scout, and you're not gonna feel like, the enemy mid lane is better. No fucking way. No fucking way. I think Chovy is, in terms of lane, he's really fucking impressive. Really fucking impressive. But in terms of complete players, you know, there's better, you know? Zabatin says that he's even better than before, but the level is higher. Of course he's better than before. Everyone's better than before. You can't just be the same, you improve. But then we move on to the part of the conversation. It's like, yo, but Showmaker has Canyon. And Canyon is also one of the best players in the world, if not, but maybe the best player in the world, right? So it is, at that point, the conversation becomes very theoretical. But Showmaker has very good game sense. He knows how to win games very well. And I like that a lot. A player that makes your team connect is very important, and it's something that is undervalued. Giving your support the space to connect, playing with that information, leveraging that information, and maintaining this rhythm in the game is there's skill and class to that. But in the end, League of Legends is a game where everyone's affected by everyone. But Chovy lane phase is fucking good. If there was a 1v1 tournament tomorrow, I'll put my money on Chovy. It's just the conversation is there's things that are far more important than CS advantages. But CS advantages are still very important. Don't get me wrong. But that other thing that I'm talking about, it's not solely the responsibility of one player. That's why it's a very tough conversation to have. All right, finally, I want to open up the topic of off-season. What are you guys thinking about off-season? Is there anything that you guys want me to comment on? Obviously, guys, I am a professional, so you're not going to get any leaked information here. Bjergsen. Bjergsen leaving TSM is a big one. You know, I reacted on this channel in this room on the Bjergsen retirement video, and I was in shock. I was in awe. But I know Bjergsen is the type of man who does what he feels he needs to do, because this man has earned that right to choose. Bjergsen is a machine, right? He has many open doors, many opportunities due to the hard work that he's put in over his long-ass career. This is also a man that I played with back in Season 2 for a short stint. He was called XL Bjergsen because he came from XL and then moved from EU Nordic East to EU West. He was this Anivia one-trick fan of Froggen. Ooh. And yeah. It's exciting to see where he comes next. You know, it's like he's an exciting player. So there's this rumor about just reading chat. What do you think about Wunder and Mickey kicked by G2? I found that very crazy. So of course I don't know too much details, but in my mind, I hope that the financial gain of G2 won't be the priority in G2's decision making here in the off season. I'm saying hope, but probably it won't be the case because businesses have to be sociopathic. They have to only think about gains, right? But in my mind, these guys have done so much for fucking G2 that they deserve so much more. Mickey, Wunder, machines can still compete to be the best players in their position. Don't get it fucking twisted over a year. They have a couple of years in the bank, in my mind. Whoever is going to get Mickey and Wunder can consider themselves very happy and lucky. Very good players. Reckless too. Reckless too. What do you think about Perks coming back? Well, if he's coming back to Europe, it's a big plus for Europe. Europe should rejoice in that fact. Player like Perks makes the region better. Honestly, ICBA talking about off-season shit. It's such a minefield. Off-season will be what it is. The things that I know are interesting and fun, but yeah. Honestly, what are we doing here, man? I'm not fucking Travis Gafford, man. So let's just end the stream here, man. I'm not LEC Wulu. I'm not Bloop GG. I'm not Jacob Wolf. I'm not evil Jacob Wolf. I'm not any of these people. So just go to those channels. Fuck it. How do we know you're not evil Jacob Wolf? Well, because I know evil Jacob Wolf personally, actually. Rumor. YamatoCannon will have a great time in 2022. Yes, indeed. Yes, I will. Talk about your new Berlin apartment. I don't fucking know where I would live. My landlord is a grade A piece of shit that only thinks about money. 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 Only thinks about money. He only thinks about money. You think there's good landlords in Berlin? Ooh, that's why I want to become a landlord. I want to become a landlord and invoke my anger upon the other landlords. I'm going to buy the house that they live in and landlord the shit out of them. And only talk to them in this voice. We all know you, Wulu. Nah, it's such a stupid thing. I have no respect for this shit. This guy is just hiding his identity. Fucking LEC Wulu. Fucking toying with people and he's fucking hiding his identity. Fuck that shit, man. This is some snake shit, man. Snake shit. What did Ditto do? LEC Ditto is a bot, man. Yo, this guy followed this guy. Who fucking cares? So what on earth are you doing with yourself? Biotic Zillion is a homie. Biotic Zillion is a homie. He hooked us up with some Zillion tips. I love talking to people that are so engulfed in like their champion, and they're like, you know. LEC Ditto is a huge mess. Who cares? You know, all in all, you know, I want to end on the note that life challenges you in just the right amount, you know, that allows you to push yourself and just reflect on it and get better and get stronger, you know. I also want to shit, what did I want to say? I didn't eat yet, so I'm losing my train of thought. It's a good time to leave. Shit. Oh yes. You know, our human mind is not developing at the same pace as our world. It isn't. Not at all. You can see that in everything, right? We are designed to consume for survival. We're required to consume information for survival. We're required to consume foods for survival. Is what our genes and how our genes have programmed us, right? And in the past, these inclinations and these instincts were very useful. You lived in a village, 20 people there. Yo, that man at the corner, this man is a very bad man. He feeds the local children poisonous mushrooms. Then it spreads, right? That piece of information spreads. Negative information. Ooh. Might be a part of, it might be necessary for my survival to know this piece of information. It spreads, right? That's why I react to negative things so harshly. It's like, oh, negative information. I want that. The drama. Ooh. Information spreading. Ooh, this is juicy. I need to find out what's going on here, right? But nowadays, Twitter, I think Twitter is natural. I think this medium is natural. Me talking to you guys and you guys just showing messages on the screen, it's not natural at all. Twitter is not real life. Twitter is not real world. And Twitter is also something that's hacked our biology, right? It's fucking pulling us in, want us to, like, there's this dopamine, you press your notifications. You press that little bell. Oh, you see new tweets. New tweets. Completely useless. See, some people liked your tweet. Oh, they liked me out the tweet. Oh, I just want to open it again. I just want to open it again and again and again. Oh, I got another notification. Once again, so many things in our society have hacked the human biology in order for us to consume more and more. And I just want to tell you guys, be careful with it. Our minds are really fucking powerful. Allow yourself to have thoughts. Allow yourself to do nothing. Just take some time and do nothing. Take an hour today and do nothing. See where your mind takes you. You get to face yourself. You become creative. You begin to have thoughts again. It feels good. It feels great. It feels really good. Same with food, right? Like, there's these foods that are fucking just designed for us to just fucking stuff ourselves, you know? Just fucking these foods are designed for us to eat more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Just consume. Be careful with yourself. Don't fall into the world of just consuming shit that is designed to fuck with your biology, you know? Because it's not the right way. It's not the right inclination. You can send me that album, Tahoe Illustration. Go ahead. Consume and adapt. Fucking Kazakh's quotes in the chat. Is it Kazakh's? Is it? I believe it's Kazakh's, right? All right. Catch you guys on the flippity flop, yeah? All the best. Thank you so much for coming. Who do we host before we leave? Who do we host? This time let's hold Zico. We're hosting Zico. Zico for the win. He's playing Diablo, man. Zico's the man, guys.